Hey guys, it's Nimbus. I am back today with another video. As always, it is free Palestine, free everybody. We will never be free until we are all free. Period. Please educate yourself on whatever is going on right now, because there's a lot of it going on right now, and it is too much to cover. At this point, we all know that there's issues in the world, and at this point, we all can see what's going on. And if you're not seeing it, you're willfully closing your eyes and staying ignorant. At this point, it is willful ignorance. At this point, it is you ignoring it. That's just what it is. You can see that people are dying. You can see that children are being mass bombed and massacred. You can see this. Whether or not it's okay for us to see this on a daily basis for our own mental health, like, obviously we're not supposed to see this stuff every single day. But since we are, why don't we do something about it and make it stop? Why keep running around bitching about, oh my God, why do you keep sharing this stuff? How about we do something to stop it? How about you stop getting mad at people for sharing it and get mad at the people who are doing it? Y'all are misplacing so much of y'all anger against people who are trying to literally do the same thing as you. Everybody's living paycheck to paycheck right now. At this point, it's what, like 70% of Americans are living paycheck to paycheck? It's something crazy. Like, it's insane. Let me look that number up really quick. Here we go. Here we go. This is according to Google. This is according to Google. It says about 78%. 78% of Americans are living paycheck to paycheck. Do y'all see this? This is from a 2023 survey conducted by payroll.org. And yet y'all are getting mad at the people who are your neighbors. Y'all are getting mad at the people who are really just doing the same fucking thing that y'all are doing. Y'all are getting mad at the people who are literally in the same boat as y'all. Stop fighting with each other and organize as a community and fight the actual problem. The actual problem is the fascism that is quickly unfolding in this country. It's been unfolding for a long time, but now it's in turbo. And it's going crazy. It's everywhere at this point. We have to do something about it. Just because World War III could happen doesn't mean it should. These elected officials keep running around acting like the people who are against them and their regime, I'm going to call it, because it is. It's ridiculous shit at this point. I mean, and this country is basically an apartheid regime too. I mean, we can't say it's not. Y'all see, sorry, fascist regime, since y'all don't like apartheid. Is that better? Fascist regime? Is that better? Only at a point of fascism will you get journalists getting attacked on a college campus for reporting what's going on, or protesters protesting for the lives of people getting arrested, beaten, murdered, all those things. There have been countless, in the past like 2 weeks, there's been at least 3 videos, so who knows how many have actually happened. There's been at least 3 videos that I've seen of 3 different people getting knocked unconscious in New York City during protests. 3 different videos of 3 different people. Again, so who knows how many people have been knocked unconscious during these arrests. But yet, there's still people running around saying, oh, but like, we don't actually know. It's not actually fascism. What does it have to look like for y'all to get it and see that this is not okay to live under? Like, what has to happen for y'all to see that this is a problem? What else has to happen? It doesn't make sense at this point. Wake up. Y'all are being so willfully ignorant. Like, really. Y'all have to wake up and say something and do something. And if y'all are part of the problem, acknowledge that y'all are part of the problem. If you don't want to be part of the problem, or if you have a problem with what the fuck I just said, deal with it. Heal. Get better. And educate yourself. Because this all comes down to education. If you don't know better, you can't do better. So how about it's time for all of us to just start doing better and knowing better? It's not that hard. We have all the access that we need to all the information that we want. You have to look for it. You have to be willing to learn and find it in order to do it. But you can't keep running around saying, oh, this new generation is all too woke. Please do your own fucking research, first of all. But also, please just, if y'all are mad about the new generation, y'all should really be mad at your own people who kept this shit going this whole fucking time. It's not the younger generation's fault. And if you don't want to deal with the fact that you were the one, old people, you were the ones who literally ran this country into the ground and left us with a big pile of shit to deal with, I think y'all need to figure it out. Y'all are the we didn't have trauma generation. Yet the whole time, y'all are literally acting off survival skills. Y'all got some healing to do. That's it. Heal. You can do that. I promise you, you're not going to be a bitch by healing. If you're old and you're angry about where the world's going, you don't need to be here anymore. Y'all already did the damage. We already are trying to pick up the pieces. We don't need your help ruining more shit. This country already has crumbling infrastructure. We know this. Yet nothing will change because we don't have enough young people who can beat out the older generations, because the older generations have such a tight grip on this country. Yet they're planning for shit in 10 years that they're not gonna fucking see. But yet I gotta listen to them talk every fucking day. And listen to what the fuck they have to say over me, because they know respect more than I do, or they understand life. How do you understand life if you're the one making it harder for everybody else? You understand greed. You understand corporate issues and greed. You don't understand life. At this point, these government officials need to start fearing the people. There is no reason why at this point in 2024, this country, the United States that prides itself on listening to democracy and being of the people, you cannot tell me that this is what this country was supposed to be. None of these government officials listen to us. That's not democracy. I mean, we know that there's a lot of issues that underlie in the system. We know that. There's a lot of issues in this system. But there's no way that you can fucking tell me that the only thing that this country was meant to do is oppress its own people. which we know that that's what it's going to do anyway, regardless. But that's called fascism. And plus, when your own country's politicians are bought out by a foreign affairs company, whatever you want to call it, they're not for the people anymore. They're for a whole different country. You have the access to the information. So do your own research. Find it. It's not that hard. With all that being said, if you guys would like to breathe with me, let's get breathing really quick. Otherwise, go ahead, skip ahead, and you will get right to the reading. So yeah, if you guys do want to breathe with me, go ahead and put your hands flat down on the table in front of you or flat down in your lap. Go ahead and put your feet flat down on the floor. We are going to breathe in through our nose and out through our mouth. And yeah, it's just going to be a count of 4 each. We're not going to hold it or anything. Just going to breathe in and out. If you need to breathe slower or faster, go ahead and do what you need to do. Don't hurt yourself. You know, if you need to follow a different breathing pattern completely, go ahead and do that. I'm just here to... this is just what I do. This just gets me to where I need to be anyway. So, yeah. If you guys would like to breathe, let's get started. Go ahead and close your eyes and breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. In, out, 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 in, last one, out. Go ahead and breathe normally here for a minute, keeping your eyes closed. Release any tension from the top of your head all the way down to your toes. You can do whatever you want, but I like to do some neck rolls. Both directions. Do some shoulder rolls. Both directions. And then I just like to shake out my arms and shake out my legs. Again, you can do whatever you want. This is just what I do. This just helps me release all the tension I need to get out quickly and as best as I can. But yeah, go ahead and come back and take one more deep breath in and out. Go ahead and breathe normally and open your eyes slowly. Alright guys, so if you need more time, go ahead and pause it now. Otherwise, we are going to get started. So today we are going to use the Hieronymus Bosch Tarot. I just found this the other day and I am obsessed. This is, so Hieronymus Bosch painted this famous triptych. I think it was in 1515. It shows, it's, what is it called? The Garden of Earthly Desires. So it shows, I keep going the wrong way, I'm sorry. It shows the Garden of Eden, Earth, and then Hell. And I love this so much. It's definitely worth looking at for an uninterrupted view. But some of the cards are different, so I will be looking in the book for some of them. Just a fair warning. But yeah, the cards are gorgeous. They are gilded on the side. This is the first time I'm using this deck, so I do have to warn you guys, I have no idea how this reading is going to go. So yeah, but we will find out. But this is the art. It's very, it's really cool. It's just so cool. It's not really a tarot with all of the suits, so it's not just wands, swords, pentacles, and cups. It's, what was it? It was berries, birds, skates, swords, books, I think 2 more, coins, and then the sins. So you got all the 7 deadly sins as well. But you do have the regular major arcana. It doesn't have like 1 through 10. It just has the, what is it? The Baron, Prince, Queen, King, Ace. Oh no, I'm sorry. Page, Knight, Baron, Prince, Queen, King, Ace. And yeah. So yeah. Let's see what happens today. I'm really excited to use this deck. I am really excited. I saw this and I was like, that's the one. I need that. So today is April 1st, so we are going to do a beginning of April check-in. So let's see how this goes. Again, this is my first reading with this, so I'm very excited to see how this goes. I genuinely don't know what's going to happen today. All right. What is our message? Whoa. Okay. Sin of envy. Unhappiness, seeking change, discontent. So yeah, so there might be this feeling of looking towards somebody else's journey, or maybe even what somebody else has, and being like, oh, being envious of what they have. But you really got to be careful too. The Christ child, number 19 just came out. Birth, children, learning, new beginnings. Yeah. It's time. You might be looking around because you're waiting for something new to begin, but it's also like, if you're looking around envious at people, you're sending them the evil eye. You're sending them that energy that's just, you might not mean to send them anything. You might just be like, oh, I wish I had that. But then it's still like, it's still jealousy. You know what I mean? So like, it's really time to focus on what this new, 1 card at a time, please. Spirit. It's really time to focus on what this new thing is. 1 card at a time, please, Spirit. Because yes, it could be a little freaky and a little scary too, because it's like, well, where am I supposed to go? We got the page of books. Reading, learning, exploration, a new job. There's things to learn because you need to know. Sorry. Obviously, there's things to learn. But with you know, we can read books and figure out what it is that we need to actually do. It says sin of lust. Sex, passion, extravagance, excess. And sometimes it could just be that there's excess, like, energies that just don't belong with us. You know what I mean? Like, there could be things that are, like, trying to get us. You know, the way that the sins work is that they're, like, you know, they're kind of like whispering in your ear. You know what I mean? Yeah. The Wayfarer. The path ahead, adventure, choices. There's definitely this feeling of like needing to almost like escape what's going on already. And when we get to that point, there's already been a reason to leave in the first place, right? And there's already been a reason to start this new journey. Especially when we're learning about different things, like maybe like say you were watching a movie and something popped out that you say you've seen this movie 10, 15, 100 times, and you just notice something new or something like that, and then like things just finally like actually click. Like, I don't know how else to explain it. Like, and it could be from a book. Like, you got the page of books out that came out anyway. You know, pages are always like in the court cards, the pages are always about like learning and applying those things to like an actual instance in time. Or like actually like applying it in your regular everyday life anyway. So it's really like, well, and yeah, actually this too. Table of Plenty came out, 10. Success, food, rewards, capitalism. Of course. Down with capitalism. No, but for real. The point being is that the abundance is there for you, but you have to be willing to be uncomfortable sometimes. You know, this journey isn't necessarily, one card at a time, please, Spirit. This journey isn't necessarily just one card at a time, please, Spirit. You can't just run around and do the same thing while expecting different outcomes, right? That's the definition of insanity, where you do the exact same thing every single time and wonder why it's not something else. You know what I mean? And it's almost like, yeah, we got the Ace of Swords. Well, perfect timing because Mercury just went retrograde anyway. We got conflict, victory, and communication. And I'm thinking that this is almost like an inner conflict. Like it's really about what's going on personally. Like, you know that something needs to change and you know that you need to start moving. Ace of Birds. Got family, multitasking, and togetherness. Yeah, but sometimes we really just need to, I mean, birds always flock together. They move as a unit. You know what I mean? So it's almost like no matter what, we have to find our actual unit that we can be with and who will help us navigate through this stuff. Yes, there are going to be people along the way who seem like they're part of your unit, who end up not being an actual part of your unit, or, you know, or even people who are there for just like a week or a couple months or just a couple years. Like, not, your unit might not be the same throughout your entire life. You know what I mean? Some people might go off on a different direction. You might have a fallout with somebody. but it's not necessarily that it was never meant to be. It's that you needed that lesson. And now that you've learned those lessons, there's an easier way to start this relationship with other people now. You have a reason to... You have a reason now to almost, like, restart, if that makes sense. It's not really a tower moment, but, like, you're able to, like, reevaluate a lot of this stuff. Yeah, exactly. Prince of Swords. Yeah. It says victory against overwhelming odds, braveness, experience. You now have the experience. You know what I mean? You can figure out what it is that you actually need to do. You can figure out what it is that actually needs to change, if that makes sense. Yeah. Because especially with the Ace of Birds, again, flocks move as a whole unit. They move as one. If the leader goes left, they all go left. That's it. So, like, yes, it might suck when we lose people, and yes, it feels like we'll never be okay anymore, but you can't let that taint every single part of your life, because then it really does spread, and then it starts affecting you in ways that you never really thought that it would, and then it's really hard to get through. The Dreamer just popped out. Sleep, dreams, vision, inspiration. Sorry, visions, inspiration. And it can almost feel dreamlike when we end up, I know I keep like doing that with the words, but like it can almost feel dreamlike when we finally realize that, or like when we finally realize that it's like we actually have to start moving forward on this journey. Because there's never really an easy way to start. You know what I mean? Like, it kind of just has to begin, and we kind of just have to force ourselves to do something. Even when it's overwhelming, even when we know the place that we want to end up, I say this all the time, we're not going to be in charge of every single thing that happens along the way, and we're not going to know everything that happens along the way. You can plan however much you want to. But the fact is that it's never going to just be what you plan it to be. It's just not going to. That's not because you're not doing the work. That's not because you don't deserve it. That's just because there's going to be other things that happen along the way, and something's going to change, and that thing is going to affect this thing, and that over there is going to affect this, but you're still going to end up where you want to go. That abundance is still coming in for you. It's not like you're not getting what you want out of this. It just might not be the exact same way that you thought that it would. We got the Ace of Berries. Harmony among all living things, happiness, joy. That happiness and joy will be coming in for you, but you have to be ready and willing to get rid of some of the things that are causing you trouble. Some of the things, and well, not just some of them, you got to be willing to get rid of all of the things that are causing you trouble. The thing is that we have to make space for the positivity to flow in. So when it's not necessarily immediate, but it's not like it's going to take years after that. You know, sometimes the actual thing that we want will be, far out, but it's not necessarily going to take that long for everything that we wanted to come in, or even like things that we didn't really think about that could be things that make us really happy, or say like we didn't think of say we've known somebody for a really long time and we never really thought of them as like a love interest, but one day you guys decide, oh, well, I've actually been, I actually kind of like this person. You never know. My point being is that sometimes we're looking in this direction, that we're just, anything over here is just not a possibility. And sometimes it takes some, what? To actually realize that there's an actual possibility for somebody to actually be there. You know what I mean? Like if we're really that, really focused right here and not paying attention, one, we're not paying attention to everything anyway, and two, we're probably missing something regardless. You know what I mean? So of course Spirit is going to send somebody to be like, "Hello," and then get your attention. You know what I mean? It also really feels like it's time to 444 nut up or shut up. That's like, oh, okay, of course. Yep, paradise. That flipped out right when I said it. Peace, pleasure, communication. I mean, yeah. Either you're gonna do something about it and like really start working towards what you want, or shut up. Spirit has you. Like, it's not like, again, the abundance is coming in for you. It's not not happening for you. It's going to happen. Excuse me, birth for confirmation. And especially with the sin of envy and the sin of lust coming out, when we look around and we see that there's this, when we think that somebody has it so much better than us, they probably don't. You know what I mean? Like, they're dealing with the same stuff. They have similar issues going on. Their relationship is probably terrible too. And that's just where we are at this point in life. Not everybody's life, of course, but like, because some people are in good relationships. But there's a lot of people nowadays, and I was watching a video about this, I think it was on TikTok or it was on YouTube. And he was talking about how basically now people are in relationships because they want the comfort over the positivity. And a lot of people are in abusive relationships with people that they just shouldn't be with anyway, whatever it is, in a relationship because of how it looks for you, like whatever it is. And it's like, sure, but like, why not do these things to better you anyway? Why not do things that would help you or benefit the both of you? You know what I mean? Like, it's not good for either person, whether you're the abuser or the abusee. Obviously, it's worse for the abusee to be in the abusive relationship, but it's not like the abuser is healthy. You know what I mean? Like, it's not like that's a good thing to be doing, or like a really healthy thing to be doing anyway. You know what I mean? Like, but that's why communicating with everybody is so important. Like, you have to communicate, like, even with the person that you're with. If you're in an abusive relationship and you can't tell them, like, stop abusing me, because, like, obviously that wouldn't be, like, that would end probably poorly. Like, but, like, even if you have, like, a friend that you can talk to, like, communicating, like, hey, like, I don't know if I'm, like, unhappy, or, like, if I'm happy with what's going on, or, like, what's going on, like, being able to communicate what you need to say is a very important part of this. Like, you have to be able to communicate, and you have to be able to, like, even if it's just communicating with spirit, or God, source, creator, Allah, whatever gods you believe in, whatever it is. however you call it, the universe, whatever. You have to communicate what you actually want. When I was in theater in high school, we always learned about action takes the focus. And that's really coming up a lot here, because it's like where you direct your energy is where it's going to draw the actual, like, the attention of everybody, right? So if you're focusing on, I don't want this anymore, I don't want to deal with this anymore, I don't need this, that's where your energy is going. You know, the more you focus on your shitty ex that you don't want to see anymore, the more that you're going to see that person repeated in other people. You know what I mean? But that's what I mean about you have to get over, you have to jump into it, kind of. Like, there's not going to be that right moment to do something about it. You kind of just have to do something about it. You have to know your worth, and you have to be willing to lose these people. I understand that, you know, Stockholm Syndrome exists. You know, you end up feeling really comfortable. You end up wondering what's going to happen if I leave, all that stuff. I get that. But you also, it's way more detrimental to you to stay in that situation. So you have to communicate. And, like, even if it's, like, to your doctor one day and being like, hey, like, you know, this is the one place I can, like, actually just tell somebody. You know what I mean? Like, if you're having trouble, please communicate it. That's what's really coming up. I don't know specifically what's happening, but since that came up really heavily. I really wish you the best. I really, really, really hope that that is not the case for anybody. But if that is the case for somebody, please just know that there is help available and that there is hope. There is hope. Okay, so that was wild. One card at a time, please, Spirit. On a lighter note, there is I don't know what he's barking at. Oh, hang on. But again, there is this overwhelming feeling of new beginning. But with that card, with the Christ child, I did just read in the book, while he has great potential, he still has to take baby steps first. And I think that's a really important thing to remember. Like, yes, we want to just go, 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 go. But sometimes, especially when we're just getting started, especially like a baby giraffe comes to mind. Like, a baby giraffe can't just fall out of its mom and just get up and run around. It's gonna take its time to stand up. It's gonna take a second. It's gonna find its footing. It's gonna figure out how to extend its legs, and then it's gonna try to walk. It's gonna fall a couple times, but it's gonna learn it pretty quick. One, and two, tomorrow it'll probably be able to do much more. You know what I mean? So it's like, we really have to, like, yes, it's scary to have these big things change, but yeah, Night of Books. We got arguments, new ideas, and teachings. Yes, like, these things aren't always supposed to be scary, and it's not meant to be scary. It's to show you that there is a way to do this without feeling like you're just alone, right? Noise. Page of Birds, speaking of, you know, flocking with your people. It says thoughtfulness, planning, melancholy, pause. And yeah, there might be this feeling of like, oh my god, I'm not doing anything. But it's like, it's not that there's nothing happening. You know what I mean? There's a lot going on, but it's probably just behind the scenes. And it's probably just not including you yet. Excuse me, sorry. Burp for confirmation. It's probably not including you yet, only because there's so much, like there's so much to plan out and so much to really get solidified before you can actually like really get moving. But like, again, in order to really take off, you have to take those first couple of steps, those first baby steps first. Like, you have to. There's no way to get around that. One card at a time, or, sorry, one more card, please, Spirit. Okay. Yeah. Got the Queen of Coins. Got asking for help, poverty, and using your skills. Yeah. And then on the bottom of the deck, we have the Knight of Swords. There we go. Companionship, victory, and perseverance. You got it. You can do it, but you have to believe in yourself, one. And two, you've made it so far already that your people are looking at you like, come on, keep going. And it's like, you got to keep going. I mean, you're allowed to do whatever you want, but you're supposed to stay here. So there's more lessons for you to learn. And it's not that you don't know anything. It's not that you're just stupid. It's nothing like that. It's nothing like that. It's that there's lessons that you need to learn, and a lot of the lessons that you've already learned involve those people and those things from your past to literally get pushed as far away as possible and let go. They do not belong in your life anymore. That's it. And it's unfortunate when we're really comfortable with these things happening, because it's like, oh my gosh, like, well, then what am I going to do? And it's like, yes, you have to figure out what you have to do. Again, like, you have to relearn a lot of stuff because you're used to these different things happening all the time. But then you can get into a place where you know how to react and respond to these things. It's not just the end of the world. It's not the end. You know what I mean? It's literally a new beginning. It's literally a new beginning. You got the Wayfarer, the Fool. You got the Fool coming out. You got the Christ Child. It's literally new beginnings. Like, and again, it might feel scary. It might feel like, oh my God, I don't know what I'm doing. But it's what you're meant to be doing. You know what I mean? Like, it's not meant to be easy, and it's not meant to be done the first time or the first try. You know what I mean? We're all going to fail. We're all going to have moments of, we're all going to have moments of sin. We're all going to have moments of, impulsivity, all of that stuff. We're all going to have those chaotic moments. But that's a part of the duality of life. That's just what it is. You can't escape the dualities. Because in order to experience the abundance of life, you also have to experience the struggles of life. You know what I mean? Let's grab our pride message really quick. Three cards, please. Got one. 2. All right, got 3. All right. So we got openness. Just because it isn't talked about doesn't mean it isn't real. If you let yourself be open, you offer others a window to learn more about you. Excuse me. Yeah. Got freedom. Free yourself from fears that have freedom. Free yourself from fears that have not yet come to light and may never do so. Find comfort in knowing that you will passively attract what you need and release what you don't only when your attitude is positively aligned. But like I was saying, you can achieve a lot of the freedom by really not allowing that negativity to stay around you. As long as you're pushing yourself to be more positively aligned and you're letting and you're letting the energy come in of positivity and releasing that negativity, that's a huge step forward. Regardless of where you are in your journey, that's a huge step forward. You can literally be on your healing journey for 30, 40, 50, 80 years if you really want it to be. But until you take those steps, not much is going to be able to happen for you. I mean, in regards to each situation, you know what I mean? Like, if there's still things that you are thinking about that happened 20 years ago or 10 years ago, maybe even last year, you're probably not the same person who did that thing. You know what I mean? You've learned from that situation. You understand that you have grown. 313, if that helps. You understand that you've grown. And it's not about wanting you to be a different person. It's about knowing that the person who did those things learned from those situations and grew into a whole new person. It's not about making sure that you're a different person. It's about growing. It's about making sure that you don't make the same mistakes. It's about making sure that you don't do the same things that got you into trouble in the past. It's about learning from your past. It's about learning from your mistakes. That's where the freedom comes from. I may be straight, but I don't hate. Reassurance. Love never did as much damage as hate. No matter who you love, the ones spreading negativity are the ones inflicting harm. You are in the clear. Yeah, I mean, and the more other people come up and decide to do this hateful shit, that's on them. It's, I mean, easier said than done. Everybody wants to get revenge. Everybody wants to get somebody back, but sometimes it's just not time. And especially when it's somebody who's doing something out of hate, they're going to get exactly what's coming to them. They're going to get exactly what's coming to them. Let's grab our sweary affirmation really quick and see what's going to happen today with this. All right, let's see. Okay. Yeah. When the world says I can't, I say fucking watch me. That one's been coming out a lot recently. But once we're finally able to sit with ourselves, I say this all the time, and I think I say it the same exact way every time. Once we're able to really sit with ourselves and love ourselves and be true to ourselves all the time, especially with ourselves, because we tend to get embarrassed with what we want. You know what I mean? We feel like, oh, you know, somebody my age shouldn't have this, or you know, stuff like that. And it's like, we've learned societally that we don't deserve the things that we want because we're not making enough money, we're not blah, 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 whatever the fucking reason is. But again, like, when the world says you can't, I say fucking watch me. What are they gonna do to you? Boo? Like boo, like, okay, let them. Let them be upset that you're doing what you want to do. It's the same thing as when people are like, oh, I can't wear that, I'm too old, or whatever, I can't, whatever reason. And it's like, do you like it? Wear it. If you feel sexy, if you feel good, if you're happy, do it. But the second that you feel like there's a toxic gas surrounding you every time you touch these things, that's when you have to be like, okay, I'm not dealing with this anymore. You know what I mean? But if it's just somebody being like, oh, you don't want to do that because blah, 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 whatever the fucking reason is, watch me. You know, obviously within reason. Like, don't go robbing a bank because people told you not to. Like, I definitely didn't tell you to do that. But yeah, I mean, it's just, and we all have stuff that we got to work on, and we all have different things that we need to focus on, and we all have different ways of figuring these things out. But just because we don't know every single step of the way doesn't mean that we can't get started. As long as you know where the path starts, you can get started on the path. There's a saying that I love saying that's, it's, and into the forest I go to lose my mind and find my soul. To me, it's so multifaceted that I won't even really begin to touch on the majority of stuff that I think about with that, or that I, could even derive from the meaning of that. But for right now, to me, it means, like what I just said, you can always get started on the path. You know where the path begins. But you're never going to be able to know exactly where the path is going to take you through those woods, through the forest, through wherever, through life, on your journey from point A to point B, whatever it is. You're never going to know exactly where that path is going to take you. You know where you want to end up, and you know where you can start. And that's about as good as you're going to get. And with the losing my mind and finding my soul, you're letting go of the logical aspects of, okay, keep your logic, like the common sense and all that stuff, but like, you're letting go of like the, okay, but now I'm going the other way, now I'm doing this, now I'm doing that. You're letting go of all those second guessing issues of trying to like replan out what's happening, and you're just letting it happen because, you're sitting there with, source, spirit, God, whatever you want to call it, the universe is guiding you. You know what I mean? It's not like you're going to be led into a tree, and it's not like the path is just going to get to a cliff and you're just going to fall off the cliff. Like, that's not the point. Well, and that's the other thing too. It's not like they're not going to catch you if you do fall, if something does happen. Like your guides, your ancestors, source, the universe, they're not leaving you. They're going to help you as much as they can. But again, as I always also say, they can only help you oh so very much. And you have to do some of the work and figure out, okay, do I want to, say you come up on a fork in the road, if you're not getting an answer, you got to pick one. You know what I mean? If it's up to you to pick the direction, you got to pick a direction. No amount of asking for help is going to help you. You know what I mean? Like, and that's not because you've been abandoned. that's because it's a decision that's only for you to make. If that makes sense. But yeah. When we are running around looking at what everybody else has and then quickly switch it to blinders on, not focusing on anything else, and that's it, we end up, that's a quick change in what we're doing. So, like, while it's good to mind your own business, it can kind of throw it off the other way, where now you're almost like, okay, but now I just don't want to do this anymore. You know what I mean? Because now, like, again, like I was talking about earlier, like, you're not paying attention to any of this stuff over here. Like, you can't see this. So, like, that's why it's so important to really, like, be listening and waiting for something else to happen too, because, that person who taps you on your shoulder over here, you're not going to see them coming. You're not going to know who it is. You're not going to be able to, it might startle you. You know what I mean? Like, it might be like this feeling of like, oh shit, like there's a person right here. And it's like, and it's not like the point was to scare you, but like the point is more, we can't just let the prospect of something ruining this be what ruins this. You know what I mean? Like, you have to go into it thinking, okay, this is going to be good for me. This is going to be helpful. I'm going to really enjoy this. I'm going to get everything I want out of this. Stuff like that. Because when we go into it with this idea of something's going to happen, something's going to be wrong, something will happen and something will be wrong, because now we kind of made that happen. So it's like, we also have to remember that we also play a role in our own suffering. Like, we all do. We all have to learn how not to self-sabotage, especially because self-sabotage is so common. It's one of those things that a lot of people do without even noticing. And it's really hard to get over it because we made the decision. We thought that the decision was the correct one. But then that comes back again to the freedom, for the pride message. Find comfort in knowing that you will passively attract what you need and release what you don't, only when your attitude is positively aligned. Like, when you're in that mode of mindset, whatever, of, oh my God, it's always something, there's always something that happens, blah, 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 whatever. Of course it's always something, because that's what you're putting out into the universe. That's what you're putting out there. That's the energy that you're calling into you. If you're always saying it's always something, I knew it. It was going to be something. I was waiting for something to happen. You were waiting for something to happen. You're self-sabotaging. It's not funny. I'm sorry. I think the real thing that the real takeaway from this reading, for me at least, is once you start really communicating what it is that you actually want, you have to really stand on that. That has to be the only thing that you're hoping for. That has to be the only thing that you're wanting, because then you're getting to a point of, then nobody knows exactly what it is that you want. And if you don't even know what you want, how are you going to get anywhere? But yeah. Keep your head up. Keep moving forward. These new beginnings are difficult, but they're worth it. And you can do it. You just gotta know that you can, and you gotta know that you will. You will get to where you want to be. It's just it might take a little longer. It might be a little bit more wobbly of a walk. It might be more uphill than you wanted it to be, but you'll get there. You got it. Just keep the faith, keep the hope. You will get there. But that is all I'm seeing for you guys today. I appreciate you guys for being here. I am closing out this reading. We're done. But yeah, I really appreciate you guys being here. Please like, share, comment, subscribe if you guys would like to. Also, please press that notification bell if you would like to. And yeah. Free Palestine, free Sudan, free the Democratic Republic of Congo, free Yemen, free Haiti, free Tigray, free Hawaii, free Puerto Rico, free Kurdistan, free Waziristan, free everybody. Free Syria, free Lebanon. We will never be free until we are all free. I love y'all. Have the day that y'all deserve, and I'll catch y'all in the next one. Be safe. Peace.